Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of Distilled Brewed Reviewed. My name is John, and this is the world famous Sipping Den. And on this channel, I do everything that has anything to do with alcohol and coffee. And I couldn't describe it because it is a massive, beautiful thing. So, what I've done for you is I've put together an unbelievable playlist for you to go through. And when you see those titles, of the things I review and how I've categorized them. See, then you could pop in. And what a beautiful thing to be able to go in there and see all those reviews of whatever's under that title. I'm telling you, I put it together to make it easy and make it great for you. Now, for example, in the first comment, I always pin because it has a link to the playlist pertaining to what we're talking about. Today's going to be bourbon. If I've seen one, I've seen 100. If you only had 5 bourbons in the world, the only 5 bourbons you'll ever need, and on and on and on. I started thinking. I thought, I'm going to put one together. And it's going to be a little different. And I'm going to have an explanation as to why I recommend these types of bourbons. All right, I'm going to put 5 types on here for you. I got examples, too. If you want to do these exact examples, obviously I have them here. So I like them. But I'm going to keep it inexpensive. I'm going to tell you which ones and which types I think you should buy and why. So let's get started. 5, right? That's the deal. All right. So you want just a bourbon with a mash bill that's pretty prominent, with a char level on the barrel that's pretty average, but most of them have, all right, what people are used to. Something that represents bourbon very well, classic bourbon. So I got one here, 72% corn, 18% rye, 10% malted barley. The mash bill, the recipe, is right in line with everything. It's a number 3 char. It's right in line with most bourbons are. It's corn, rye, and malted barley, what most bourbons are. And it's readily available, and it's inexpensive. And here it is, Woodford Reserve. Woodford Reserve. Now, there are many other everyday bourbons that would do just fine. And you people watching this, if you have an example of an everyday, run-of-the-mill, so to speak, not one that represents bourbon by itself, you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second, that represents a traditional bourbon with a traditional mash bill that's tasty, it doesn't cost a lot, please put it in the comments. My recommendations, Woodford Reserve, but there are many, many, many others. All right, so you have that. Now, that's what most bourbons, the mash bill is. But some of them, instead of having rye, will have wheat. Okay, so it's going to be corn, wheat, and malted barley, no rye. And for that, I suggest Maker's Mark. And not just any Maker's Mark, the 101. Why? I always go, and this is 92, by the way, proof. I try and get as high a proof as I can for the money because it's like a haircut. We can always take a little bit off. Right? We can always proof it down with water or ice, but we can't add hair and we can't add proof. So you get the highest one. You might like it like that. If you don't, we can proof it down. I'll have another video showing you how to do that pretty easy enough. The 101 is tasty. It's available now everywhere, I think. It was a mistake. It was during COVID. This was only supposed to be available in duty-free shops. But during COVID, nobody was flying. So they released it to the liquor stores. It's tasty. It's really good. And what a fun comparison if you've got people over or just by yourself to be able to have a traditional rye bourbon and a traditional wheat bourbon, right? And you can compare what the difference is in that. Yeah, see? All right, so big thing now is double oaking. We want to double oak. What that means is bourbon has to be put into a brand new charred container, oak charred container. That's how the rule's written. Obviously, everybody uses a barrel. If you take that bourbon and you then, when it's finished, put it into another brand new oak charred barrel for however many months, that varies, then that is called double oaked. Gives a whole different profile. Do you want to know what that different profile is? I go with, again, Woodford Reserve, double oaked. Exact same mash bill, exact same char level. The only thing difference on this, proof and everything, the only thing difference is the fact that one was put in a secondary barrel. How fun would it be to take the exact same whiskey and see what the putting it in a secondary barrel does? Plus, if you have company, that's a fun thing to do. Just like it's fun to compare it with the wheated one versus the rye one. And they see, no, you have anything double oaked. This one, readily available for the price. It's fantastic. Nobody is going to argue with this one. You take this one out, and yes, nobody will complain about that. Now, what else do we have going on? Well, there's something even more rare. Corn, rye, malted barley, we've done it. Corn, wheat, malted barley, we've done it. How about corn, rye, wheat, and malted barley? How about a 4-grain? How about an inexpensive 4-grain? 90 proof, right? McFarland's 4-grain. How interesting would that be now to see if you could pick out after you've done the barley, or excuse me, you've done the rye, you've done the wheat. Now you've got them all. Can you pick it out? Can you pick out the different ones? Do you like it? It's good to have one of these. Not a lot of people make them. You can find them. There's enough. I chose that one. It's inexpensive. It's 90 proof. It's not bad. And get you a 4-grain. All right. What else? That's 4. The last thing I would say, get one finished. Okay. Get one finished in a secondary barrel. I have 2 here. I have RD1 Brazilian Amburana wood. I've done a review on it. Done a review on all these things. I love Amburana. You'll see how that changes the flavor of the bourbon, how the different woods do it. You've already got the double wood. Now you're going to get a different type of wood. Or, because it's 6, but it's really 5, because I'm just using another example of a secondary finished barrel. That I would use. Then I have Blackridge. Blackridge, finished in ruby port barrels and wine barrels. Again, that's 90 proof. And it's not expensive, and it should be readily available. And I've given you, I think, fair price, great quality, easy to find, and something that has something for everybody that you can have a lot of fun with, that you're never going to get bored with these, all right? Just these 5. There's too much difference in them. That's my opinion of the 5. If you can only have 5 bourbons, which ones are at least which types. And you know, in these comments, people are going to have their own thing about the wheated and the 4-grain. That's fine. And check them out. Just if you're going to comment on that, make sure it's obviously tastes great, is affordable, and easy to find. That's all I ask. And then everybody reading these comments, you make your own choice. These are not the end-all, be-all. These are just the suggestions. But the idea is an end-all and be-all. You should have this kind of array, in my opinion. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. I'm pretty happy with this idea.